Hey, welcome to Satisfy Personal Finance. Today we're going to talk about 5 possible replacements to the UOB One card, which was recently nerfed. Recently, UOB actually reduced the cashback rate of the UOB One card from its maximum 5% cashback to just 3.33% for people who have been spending $2,000 per month on their UOB One card. This is quite a massive drop in the cashback rate from a decent 5% to a mediocre 3.33%. How the UOB One card works is this: if you spend $500 every month, you actually get $50 after 3 months, which is a 3.33% cashback. And then if you spend $1,000 a month, you get $100, which is also 3.33%. Now, previously, if you spend $2,000 every month for 3 months straight, you actually get $300 cashback after the quarter, which represents 5% cashback. And I think a lot of people actually like this because $2,000 is quite a bit of spend and you get 5% on the entire amount, which for cashback cards is actually quite rare because a lot of cashback cards just cap off at around $600 to $800 per month. From 1st June, however, the cashback for UOB One $2,000 tier is going to drop from 5% to 3.33%, which is more in line with the $500 and $1,000 tier, which is rather mediocre if you ask me. 3.33% is not a very good cashback rate. So what are some replacements we can look at to replace this tier of spending? Now, if any of these cards mentioned in the video catches your attention, please go to my website to sign up for them. And I thank you for keeping my website as well as my YouTube channel going. So here are 5 alternatives that I come up with that could possibly replace the UOB One card depending on your spending habits. And the number 1 is the HSBC Advance, which was quickly thrown up when people were trying to look for contenders to replace UOB One. The HSBC Advance actually gives 1.5% cashback for spends under $2,000 a month. And once you hit $2,000, it becomes 2.5%. If you satisfy the requirements for the Everyday Plus program, you actually also get additional 1%, bringing the rate to 3.5% cashback, which is slightly higher than 3.33%, I guess. So that's why people are looking at this card. But I feel that this wouldn't be a very good replacement because 3.5% is only marginally better than 3.33%. And you also don't have the bonus merchants that UOB One has, which give additional 6.67% on things like Grab, Shopee, Giant Cold Storage, etc., which will boost your cashback rate beyond 3.33. So 3.5% doesn't quite cut it. The HSBC Advance also does not offer cashback for card up or iPayMy, which is a popular use case for your UOB One card. So again, this might not be the most suitable replacement if most of your spend on your UOB One is on card up and iPayMy payment services. The second solution you can look at involves the other UOB cashback card, which is UOB Absolute, and then you use it to top up your Grab MasterCard. Now, this combination gives you 1.7% cashback on the top up, and then 1.2% in Grab points if you're a Platinum member, which is fairly easy to achieve. And then you spend it during Grab challenges, which gives about 2% bonus Grab points, making about 4.9% rebate in total. So 4.9% isn't too far off from your usual 5% rate, and this might be the solution for people who spend about $2,000 a month and want to get 5% rebate on their spending. But why this might not work is because this is very seasonal. It depends on Grab challenges, which happens on the mid of every month, and there are limited slots for the challenge, and you can't be assured of which challenge you land in. Sometimes you might be in a higher tier or a lower tier depending on your level of spend in the previous months. Also, there's no telling when Grab will actually stop the challenge or change the challenge mechanics. So you're really at the mercy of Grab to keep pumping out the same challenge, which it has over the past few months, but again, it might change. So you might not always get the 4.9% rebate that you are looking for. But I think largely this actually hits around the 5% rebate that you used to get with your UOB One card. The downside, of course, you really need to follow Grab's schedule as well as the number of applicants. And I realized that the challenge tends to finish usually on the first week of the following month. So you're about 3-week window from the mid of each month to when the slots are completely taken up by people who have completed their spend requirements. Just like HSBC Advance, the Grab card does not give Grab points on payments like iPayMy or card up, but you still do get the 1.7% you top up your Grab with, but that 1.7% doesn't really offset the payment fees charged by the payment services. So yeah, this is not a very good card to replace UOB One for card up and iPayMy payments. Now before I go on to the next solution, please help me play the YouTube game and give me a like because it really helps me boost the video to reach more viewers like yourself. The third card you can look at to replace your UOB One would be the Citi SMRT card, which gives you 5% cash back on online transactions as long as you meet the $500 minimum spend per month, which shouldn't be a problem if you are a UOB One user who has been clocking $2,000 of spend monthly. The 5% cashback, of course, is the same as your old UOB One cashback, and there's also no monthly cap for the Citi SMRT card. So if you spend $6,000, $7,000 within a single month, you can get the 5% on the entire amount, which makes this card a very, very good card for big spenders. Unfortunately, the downside is that it's online only. So if you are using your UOB One card for mostly offline transactions or mix of offline and online transactions, then the Citi SMRT card will not do very well as a replacement. Also, although there's no monthly cap on the Citi SMRT card, there is an annual cap of $12,000. And if you're a UOB One user who spends $2,000 per month every single month of the year, $12,000 is not going to cut it because your usual spend is $24,000 a year. And unfortunately, the Citi SMRT card also does not work with iPayMy or CardUp. Now the fourth solution you can look at would be a combination of the UOB Evo, OCBC Frank, and DBS Live Fresh. Now these three cards are the triplets of cashback cards. They give about 5 to 6.67% cashback if your spending is on PayWave and online, which basically covers most bases. When used optimally, all three cards can give you $130 of cashback on $2,200 of spend, which is almost 6% cashback, which is better than your 5% rate that you were getting previously. Now the downside is that you need to use these cards optimally, which is roughly a 50-50 split of transactions between PayWave as well as online. So how well this strategy works depends on how much your spending is split between PayWave as well as online transactions. The more 50-50 it is, the better it is and the higher your cashback yield. If it's almost all online transactions, then you're better off with the Citi SMRT card. And if it's almost all PayWave transactions, you realize that your cashback rate actually drops to maybe about 3% if you spend all on PayWave on these three cards. And I think most people will find that managing three cards is more troublesome than managing one because they don't want to track multiple cards in an Excel sheet like I do. And if they have a big transaction like $1,500, this strategy actually falls flat on its face because you cannot split that $1,500 between 2 or 3 cards to squeeze it into their cashback cap. So this strategy is actually okay if your spending habits happen to fit into the requirements of these cards. Otherwise, you may find them to be a poor replacement for your UOB One card. Now the fifth card you can look at to replace your UOB One card will be the Maybank Family and Friends card, which offers 8% cashback and a maximum cashback of $125 per month, provided you're able to meet its requirements, which is spending within any 5 of these categories, and each category is capped at $25 cashback. In order to get the $125 cashback advertised, you actually need to spend $312.50 in a single category times 5 of them in order to get the maximum cashback. So how realistic is this? Depends on your areas of spend. And personally, I feel that it's not really very feasible to get the maximum cashback of $125. I'm not a fan of sub-limits like that because it's really difficult to proportion your spend according to the sub-limits imposed. For example, in a particular month, let's say you have a massage package of $500, it wouldn't actually get the full 8% cashback because the wellness category caps it at $312.50 of spending, which gives you the max cashback of $25 for that category. And I think it's very difficult to find spending that will fit nicely in every single category such that you can get a full and effective 8% cashback yield. But of course, I encourage you to go and break down your monthly expenses and see how well they fit into these categories. Because even if you don't get the full 8% cashback, 5 or 6% isn't too bad. And yeah, that is already better than your UOB One's 5% cashback previously. Now I'm going to give you a bonus 6 replacement on how to replace your UOB One card. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about how I would replace my UOB One card. And the short answer is I wouldn't, because I can still use it for my CardUp and iPayMy transactions and earn 3.33% minus off the service fee from these transactions. Now, of course, my earning has been reduced from the 5% cashback I used to get. But for things like mortgages, there really isn't any alternative to get rewards from. For income tax, you can still use the Grab method to pay via AXS. But for things like mortgage, yeah, how else am I going to get cashback on my mortgage? So no choice, I'll just continue, and my UOB One serves that purpose very well, and you'll continue serving that purpose. And on top of that, I will still use my UOB One for things like Grab spending, Giant, Cold Storage, Shopee, and those get the bonus cashback rate. And overall, I think I will still get a decent amount of cashback from this card. Outside of card up and iPayMy spending, of course, I think the next best solution to replace a UOB One will be a combination of Citi SMRT card and one of the 3 cashback cards between UOB Evo, OCBC Frank, and DBS Live Fresh. So again, this depends on your spending habits. If you find yourself having spending that's split fairly even between online and offline, then those 3 cards will help you. If you have more online transactions, then your Citi SMRT card will come and bolster that strategy to give you high cashback. Now the bonus, hey, do you mind? Now the bonus solution I have for you is to switch to miles. Now I know that I've always been saying that I'm a cashback person first before a miles person. But if you're looking to replace a 5% cashback rate, I think 4 miles per dollar is actually a fair replacement because you're only sacrificing 1.25 cents for each mile, which is a fair value, I would say. Now, it'd be one thing to replace a 6 to 8% cashback card with 4 miles per dollar, which I say doesn't quite cut it. But when you're talking about 5% cashback, I think anything 5% or lower, you can start to look at a 4 miles per dollar card instead. And there are a variety of 4 miles per dollar cards that you can be using, like the UOB Preferred Platinum, the HSBC Revolution, the Citi Rewards, the DBS Women's World Mastercard, the OCBC Titanium Rewards. There are just so many of them that you can choose to replace your spend that you've been placing on your UOB One all these while. With $2,000 of spending per month, you can get a lot of miles on a 4 miles per dollar card in a single year, almost 100,000, and that will bring you to places like Japan on business class. So I think your spending is actually substantial enough that you should be playing the miles game instead of just sticking to cashback. It seems like the pandemic is over, so miles is now more and more valuable and useful, and therefore you can consider starting on the miles game if you haven't already done so. And this nerf to the UOB One might just make you make the move to the mouse game. What do you think about my suggestion? Do you have better alternatives yourself? Leave your comment in the comment section below and I'll select the best answer to win $20 of shopping mall vouchers. If you like my content, please remember to drop me a like. It really helps my video more than you can think. Subscribe to my Telegram group for more content and great deals, and I will see you next video. Now I'm going to give you a bonus solution on how to I'm going to give you a bonus 6 replacement on how to replace